Welcome to Borderlands 3, where they do indeed have guns with legs. Or is it legs with guns? I don't know. But I went down to an event in London last week and I got to play 5 hours of the game. And a big thanks to 2K for sponsoring this video, and if you want to know even more about the game, there's a link down in the description below. What's the deal? Well, you know, as soon as I found out that I'd RNG'd a gun, when you reload it or get to the end of the mag, it throws it out and turns into something. In my case, it was a turret with legs that can sit there, and then if it sees a target, it runs at them and detonates itself. I'm going to use that a lot, right? And here you can see I was just testing, like, how many of these can I put down at once? I think it was 6, and then you put the 7th down, and then the first one that you put down explodes. So plenty of fun to be had here. So this planet that I'm on here is called Eden 6, and I think this is the first time that they've shown gameplay of it. It's been in a couple of trailers before, but this is the first time you're getting proper gameplay, and I was playing this on PC at 1440p, graphics maxed out, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I think the level design in particular has really taken a step up in this game, and we'll get into more of that later on. But there's all kinds of indigenous creatures here, these dinosaur looking things, which I think are called scalions, jabbers, ratchlings, plenty of variety in the things that you can kill on this planet. And the mission I'm doing here at the moment is a side mission, and it ends up with a massive boss fight between you, the Queen Iosaur, and King Bobo. Now, this was my strategy opening things up here. Put as many guns with legs down as possible. Just make a big old nest of guns with legs before things kick off. Let's just see how this unfolds. We've got a 3-2 split. See there. They prioritized King Bobo there, but not that effective. Anyway, so Moze is the Vault Hunter that I'm playing, and her ultimate ability, let's say, is the Iron Bear, which is this mech that I've just jumped in. And Borderlands 3 has so many different ways that you can customize the Vault Hunters. With my mech in particular here, I went for a really chaotic build, so I've got the twin barrel miniguns on the left, and on the right, I've got the grenade launcher. So that build is all about attack, and there's all sorts of different perks and passives and active abilities that you can throw on here. And something really cool that I found out, if you go on the Borderlands website, you can pick which Vault Hunter you want, and you can spec out their skill trees however you want. So they give you a load of skill points, and then you can just go in and customize everything, so you can almost practice your builds for the game when it comes out. I just thought that this is a pretty cool feature because this is exactly how it is in the game. It's the same UI and everything. I will show you a couple of the other builds that I went for later on in the video when we go into another mission. Now, if you're watching this video, you've probably played a couple of the other Borderlands games before, but if you don't know what this game's about, it's a looter shooter. You can play this one with 3 other players in a party of 4, or you can play solo. And the 5 hours that I spent playing the game was solo. To be honest, I quite enjoyed playing it in solo. But obviously, if you've got a good group of friends to play alongside you, I think that's how I'll be playing through the game. So we're going to skip ahead now to another mission on Eden 6. And we've got to go and find a fragment of a vault key that happens to be somewhere inside a crashed ship called the Family Jewel. And we bump into someone called Balex, who I think was the navigator on the ship. But unfortunately, they've been eaten by a tyrant, which is this giant dinosaur looking thing. So we've got to kill that tyrant first and then pick this guy up and see what he has to say.
And the ratty ass stuffed plushie, come pick me up.
Why are you a plush toy?
Hey, I don't want to talk about it. Why are you looking for the family jewel?
There's a piece of a vault key in it. Wainwright Jacob sent me.
Oh, you with Wainwright? Okay, alright. Yeah, I'll show you where the family jewel is. It's in a gorge nearby. I can get you inside.
Now, do any of you guys recognize that voice? Because when I was playing, I was like, I'm sure I know that voice, and I just couldn't pinpoint it. And then it came to me. It's Ice-T. It's actual Ice-T. And if you follow him on social media, you've seen interviews with him, you'll know that Ice-T is actually a big gamer, and he voices Balex in this game, which I think is pretty awesome. Anyways, so you pick him up and you end up going inside the ship. Unfortunately, it's been overrun by these ratches and these ratchlings, and this is where things get really interesting because it gave me like Aliens vibes. You've got these nests everywhere, you've got eggs, these small insect ratches crawling at you and attacking you whilst you're just going to town with all of your guns and your mechs, and it just felt a bit Aliens to me. I loved the level design in here, the detail. I really think that in terms of overall polish and quality, especially in the level design and in the gunplay in particular, they've ramped things up for Borderlands 3. The gunplay in Borderlands 1 and 2, not that satisfying to me, but I was playing this with a controller on PC, and it just felt a lot better and more satisfying to me firing these weapons, more polished around the edges. So the mission continues, you go deeper into the ship, you find out that the ship's combat robot called Genevieve isn't too nice and happy about you guys being there, and she starts sending EMS bots after you, as well as all the inhabitants that have relocated themselves on the ship. So it gets really chaotic, and at one point you have to knock off the head of an EMS bot and put Balex inside it so he can move around.
I'm in. I'm alive.
And then he gets further upgraded into a mech suit of his own a bit later on, so he's fighting alongside you then, firing missiles and plasma off everywhere, and eventually this all comes to a head with you actually having to fight Genevieve, who is this souped up mech, and she fires all sorts of stuff at you, but you've got the bare fist, you've got the flamethrower. One of my favourite skill tree unlocks for Moze's mech is the salvo here, and it's very Panzer Dragoon. You just lock onto multiple targets at once and it fires off a load of missiles. Anytime that I can do that kind of thing in a game, I'm here for it. Boom, you take out Genevieve, everyone is happy. Just a really funny, interesting mission. I've purposefully left out some moments too as not to spoil everything. Another thing that I haven't mentioned about the guns is that some of them have secondary firing modes. So you may have noticed that at certain points in the gameplay, I've switched between like corrosive shots, shock shots, that one's a bit hard to say. And then you've also got like incendiary ammo, you've got ammo that freezes people. I mean, Gearbox claim themselves that there's over 1 billion different types of weapons in this game, so plenty of crazy gun variations on offer here. And I'm going to leave it there for today, guys. I will have another video on Borderlands 3 coming out because out of 5 hours I captured a lot of cool content. The next video will focus on Flak, and he's the Vault Hunter that's just been revealed. What's cool about Flak is that he's got pets, and that kind of Vault Hunter is great for if you're playing on your own. So that's who we'll be looking at in the next video, and there's a lot of early game content in there too, where we are roaming around the open world, driving vehicles, getting up to all sorts of trouble, and of course Lilith and Ellie are in there too. With that said, that's all for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this one. Do let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and a big thanks to Borderlands 3 for sponsoring this video. Once again, there's a link down in the description below you can click on if you want to find out more information about the game. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, a dislike. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.